முன்னாள் இராணுவ தளபதி ஜெகத் ஜெயசூரிய உட்பட 9 வெளிநாட்டு தூதுவர்களுக்கான பெயர்கள் இன்று அறிவிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளன. வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சில் இன்று நடைபெற்ற செய்தியாளர் மாநாட்டில் அமைச்சின் பேச்சாளர் மஹிஷினி கொலனே இவர்களது பெயர்களை ஊடகங்களுக்கு அறிவித்தார். இதன் அடிப்படையில் பிரேசில் நாட்டு தூதராக முன்னாள் இராணுவ தளபதி ஜெனரல் ஜகத் ஜயசூரிய நியமிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளார். ஜகத் ஜயசூரிய மற்றும் தயார் ரட்நாயக்க ஆகியோர்களது பெயர்களும் உள்ளடக்கப்பட்டுள்ள நிலையில் இவர்களது பெயர்கள் தூதுவர் பதவிக்கு பரிந்துரை செய்யப்பட்ட போது கடும் எதிர்ப்புகள் வெளிவந்ததாக தெரிவிக்கப்படுகின்றது.
We informed you at the first briefing that we are bound by Article 4.1 of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961 with regard to the announcement of nominees for heads of mission posts, and that accordingly we can only announce the names of appointments after the receiving state has granted agreement or acceptance of the sending country's nominee to serve as ambassador or high commissioner. As of now, we have received agreement for nominees from 9 countries, and we can formally announce these names today. They have also received the clearance of the Parliamentary Committee on High Posts. They are expected to take up their posts shortly once they complete the orientation program and other formalities. I will read out the names to you in alphabetical order of the countries. General Jagath Jayasuriya, retired, has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Brazil. General Jayasuriya was appointed the Chief of Defence Staff in 2013 on relinquishing the command of the Sri Lanka Army. He was the 19th commander of the Sri Lanka Army. He is a recipient of a number of decorations and awards. He has a Master of Science degree from the University of Madras and has completed the National and International Security Program at the John F. Kennedy School of Government and Harvard University. Second, Mr. Y.K.A. Rohanajit has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Iran. Mr. Rohanajit is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1994. He has served in the Sri Lanka missions in Kenya, Pakistan, and Iran, and as director at the SAARC Secretariat in Kathmandu. He was Sri Lanka's Deputy Chief of Mission in Iran previously. 3. Mr. P. Selvaraj has been appointed the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Israel. Mr. Selvaraj is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1994. He has served in the Sri Lanka missions in Russia, Geneva, USA, and Australia. 4. Mr. A.M.J. Sadiq has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Netherlands. Mr. Sadiq is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1988 and has served in the Sri Lanka missions in Kuwait, France, Pakistan, and Jeddah. He was also Sri Lanka's ambassador to Saudi Arabia and to Brazil previously. He is presently Additional Secretary of the Ministry and is in charge of the East Asia and Pacific and Public Communications divisions of the Ministry. 5. General R.M.D. Ratnayaka, retired, has been nominated as the next High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Pakistan. General Ratnayaka served as the commander of the Sri Lanka Army from August 2013 until February 2015, and as Chief of Staff from January 2010 to July 2013. He has served as the military spokesperson from October 2004 to January 2006. He is a graduate of the National Defense University of China, the Defense Service Command and Staff College of Bangladesh, and of the US Army Intelligence School. 6. Mr. W.M. Karunadasa has been nominated as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Qatar. Dr. Karunadasa is a counsel of the bar and was recently a commissioner of national housing. He has been senior professor of history and international relations at the University of Colombo and has authored a number of books in English and Sinhala on Sri Lanka's foreign policy and international affairs. He has also served at the University of Kelaniya in developing the graduate and undergraduate programs on international studies. 7. Mrs. R.D. Rajapaksa has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Sweden. Mrs. Rajapaksa is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1994. She has served in the Sri Lanka missions in the Maldives, Pakistan, Germany, Myanmar, and the Republic of Korea. She has also served as director at the SAARC Secretariat in Kathmandu. Her last assignment was as Deputy Chief of Mission to Sweden. 8. Mrs. Shenuka Senaviratna has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Thailand. Mrs. Senaviratna is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1985. She has served in the Sri Lanka missions in New York, Belgium, and the United Kingdom, and she has also been Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. She served as Sri Lanka's permanent representative to the UN in Geneva and also as the Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. At present, she serves as Additional Secretary of this ministry in charge of the Economic Affairs Division. 9. Mrs. S.H.U. Disanayake has been appointed as the next ambassador of Sri Lanka to Vietnam. Mrs. Disanayake is a member of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service batch of 1996. She has served in the Sri Lanka missions in Japan, Sweden, Italy, and as Consul General in Shanghai. She is presently the Acting Director General of the Middle East Division of this ministry. As promised, we will continue to announce other appointments as well, as and when agreement is received from the respective receiving governments. Thank you.